It's apple season. So my daughter went out and went apple picking. I want to make an apple dish. Apples are a great fruit. And this dish is a little different, simple. It is apple enchiladas. Yummy. These things are good. So of course the first thing we need is some apples. So I've got a bunch there. I'm not even sure what kind they are, but they're the right kind that we need. Macintosh, what have you. Good baking apples. So here's my daughter's apple peeler thing. I've never used it. So I got all the tools I think I need for making my own apple filling. I don't have a can of the stuff, so we're going to make our own since we got a whole bunch of apples. I'm trying to figure out how this works. I've never actually used it, so this is kind of a cool experiment. You take the apple and you put it on the apple peeler like that, and then you just spin it around. And there's a blade on the end of that arm that is going to peel the apple. And look at that. That is so cool. I'm going to use 4 apples because I think that's about enough for the filling. And the only piece of advice I got from my daughter was go easy when you're peeling the apples. If you go too fast, you're not going to get all the peel. But this is so much quicker. Even though I know I still got the bottom and top to get the peels off, this still saves me a lot of effort. Okay, that's cool. I've got another bowl for all the apple peelings and stuff. So there's our 4 apples. The next thing is I got to get the core out. So I got my apple slicer. And it's real simple. Push down. And there's the core done. Now I got a bunch of slices that I can use for our apple filling. Well, you just got to do it 3 more times. And there we go. That should be enough apples for what we are going to make. Now I just got to chop them up into pieces, take what little skin there still is on them, and if there's any bad spots, get rid of them. And of course, you can make this as chunky as you want. I think this is the perfect size, but if you like bigger or smaller, go ahead. I'm going to put this in a bowl so I can get it over the stove. There's our 4 apples. So into a pot, I'm throwing a chunk of butter. It's supposed to be 2 tablespoons. Oh, and that is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I think it's more like 1 tablespoon. It came out in a big clump. It's okay. I love cinnamon. So I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So you bring that up to a simmer. And I just want to combine all the cinnamon. Now we're throwing in our apples. And I need to get a better grip on it. And make sure that the apples get coated in all that nice cinnamon. And now, of course, half a cup of sugar, because apples aren't sweet enough. You know, it would probably be really cool with brown sugar. Now that's for another time. So it's all mixed. I put a little bit of water in there, about 3 tablespoons, which is really funny because once it's done cooking and rendering down a bit, we'll put the lid on it. Give it about 5-6 minutes. Stir it every once in a while. And that looks about good right there. So now we're putting in a cornstarch mix. So I thought it was kind of, you know, I'm assuming that the extra water at the beginning was to make sure that the apples don't burn. Now we got to thicken it up a little bit. It's just too watery to use for the enchiladas. But right now, if you like apples, oh, never mind buying a can, just do this. So it takes you an extra 20 minutes. Here's the pan we're going to use, a nice big rectangle pan. I'm going to make 8 enchiladas. I got a pack of 10 tortillas. I could probably have squeezed all 10 in there, but I didn't think I had enough filling. A quick spray of the pan, and let's go. So there's our apple mix. I had let sit for about an hour to cool, because it is coming off a hot element. So there's one of our tortillas. I believe they're 8-inch tortillas. And now the trick is trying to divide all the apple stuff into 8 equal amounts. I figure rolling is kind of like you would rolling cabbage rolls. So you kind of bend the outsides and then you roll it carefully, kind of like that. Now the trick when you put it in the pan is you want the seam on the bottom. You don't want it up, so you got to be careful with that, just like cabbage rolls, because it'll come apart otherwise. So we'll do one more, because the first one I kind of put the stuffing in the middle. And when you go to roll it, it makes it a little tougher. So this way it's a little closer to the outside edge, and we'll do the same thing. Fold the sides as carefully as we can, and then very carefully, I need a couple extra hands, just kind of roll it like that. Look at that one, worked out really well. And into the pan it goes. And this is my 8th one. I didn't think you'd like to watch all 8 of them. And that is our apple enchiladas, all ready to go in the oven. But we need a nice coating mix first. We need a pot, and into that pot goes a bunch of butter, about that much, like a half a stick. That is a half a cup of sugar, and if I measure it out roughly right, that right there, a little bit more is a half cup of brown sugar. Oops, I don't think that little bit's going to make that big of a difference. And of course we're on medium heat right now, so we're going to melt down the butter and all the sugar and brown sugar, which doesn't take long. While I'm busy trying to combine everything, the butter's melting. But once it comes to a boil, we get it over to our enchiladas and we pour it on. Looks good. Let's get this into the oven. 350 degrees, about 20 minutes. Keep your eye on it. If you're concerned about the enchiladas drying out, cover them up. I didn't. I just put them in just like that. And 20 minutes later, here they are. See, they haven't browned up or anything, but they're nice and hot. I don't know if you can see the steam coming up, but they are so good. Get one onto a plate, and there is our apple enchiladas. An excellent fall time dessert. Well, that was yummy, and I hope you'll try this recipe. If you do, leave me a comment below. Give me a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.